Good day, everyone. I am currently in Strategies and Policies Online, and I am doing my presentation over Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble is a company that many people know about, and if you don't know about it, you probably have some of their products in your home. Procter & Gamble currently today is doing very well. Although their stocks were expected to drop, they're still holding out better than a good amount of other companies. Procter & Gamble was founded in 1837 by William Proctor and James Gamble. William Proctor immigrated from England and became a candle maker in Cincinnati, which was a busy center of commerce and industry in the early 19th century. And James Gamble immigrated from Ireland and apprenticed himself to a soap maker. The two probably should have never met, but they married sisters Olivia and Elizabeth North, whose father convinced his sons-in-laws to become business partners. And as a result, in 1837, Procter & Gamble was born. Now, this is one of the world's most international companies, and they sell more than 300 brands in 180 countries. The company is 172 years old, has over 135,000 employees, and has made over $79 billion in sales. Some fun facts about Procter & Gamble. James N. Gamble invented ivory soap and founded the first laboratory in Procter & Gamble history. In 1955, Procter & Gamble also began selling the first toothpaste to contain fluoride in it. The brand, as we all know and love today, Crest. I actually have Crest toothpaste in my bathroom right now. Procter & Gamble's brand portfolio now includes 20 brands that generate between $500 million and $1 billion in annual sales. Combined with the billion-dollar brands, Procter & Gamble's top 44 brands account for more than 85% of Procter & Gamble's sales and 90% of their profits. Even if you've never heard of the company Procter & Gamble, you probably have some of their products in your home right now. I personally did not realize how many products Procter & Gamble provided, and I have over 16 of their products in my home currently. Some well-known products that they have are Dawn, Tide, Bounce, Cascade, Gain, Downy, Ivory, and there's actually a fun fact about Ivory soap later in the presentation, Bounty, Swiffer, Pepto, Crest, Charmin, Tampax, CoverGirl, Olay, and that's not even the half of it. Procter & Gamble provides a wide range of products. The first question we're going to discuss is, how did global expansion by Procter & Gamble create economic value for the company and its shareholders? According to the case study, Procter & Gamble makes over $80 billion in sales annually. However, 54% of these sales comes from overseas, which is understandable since they are one of the largest international companies. Procter & Gamble does business in more than 180 different companies. Therefore, they've created an extensive amount of economic value. And this added additional markets for their products via global expansion. Capitalizing on this space was inevitably beneficial to both the company and its shareholders. The second question we're going to be discussing is, what multinational strategy was Procter & Gamble pursuing? They were pursuing a mix of the international and localization strategy. When Procter & Gamble first expanded internationally, it did so primarily by establishing self-contained and wholly owned subsidiaries in each of its major national markets. These subsidiaries would manufacture the product and customize the marketing, distribution, and sales strategy so that it best matched local conditions. Product development, however, remained centralized in the United States. This means they were pursuing an international strategy by developing products at home and then selling them overseas. There was also an element of localization in its approach, and the way it handled its marketing, sales, and distribution strategies, since they would be customized to local conditions. The company picked this strategy rather than exporting because trade barriers at the time were quite high, which made exporting goods from the United States uneconomical. So another way to understand it is to look at stores like Costco. When they go overseas, they have very specific products that they mainly sell in that country. Or McDonald's is an even better example. The McDonald's in Japan has a lot of food that we do not have in America. Same within other countries. Also, 7-Eleven is a good example because it's similar. The 7-Eleven in Japan can be said to be a far better quality than in America. The third problem we're going to be discussing is what were the problems with this strategy? Why do you think these problems didn't become evident until the 1990s? The problems I believe that were wrong with this strategy is the high cost involved in the customization of the products and high tariffs. When you see the high cost involved in the customization of products, it was mainly witnessed in 1990, and it was due to the increased duplication of the production, marketing, and administration activities in various local subsidiaries. And the other biggest reason were the high tariffs, which were imposed on the international trades. And as you know, Procter & Gamble does a lot of international trades. Once these tariffs were removed, the segmented markets got combined, and any retailers, the large ones like Walmart, Tesco, and Carrefour, utilized this opportunity. So a heavy discount was sought after by Procter & Gamble to these companies, and it was further boosted by the high cost, which resulted in the reorganization of the organizational structure of Procter & Gamble. I mentioned reorganization in my previous slide, and what we're going to be discussing is what were the goals of the reorganization that Procter & Gamble embarked upon in the late 1990s. What multinational strategy is the company now pursuing? How should this multinational strategy benefit the company? Are there drawbacks of this multinational strategy? The main focus of the reorganization, which was initiated in the 1990s, as said in the question, was to have control over the cost structure and rearrange the essence of developing global markets. This was done by Procter & Gamble by closing down some of the production units, terminating and laying off manpower, and to have production only in selective facilities. So instead of having production across the board in all their facilities, they just picked certain ones to have production in. This is how the company was able to capitalize on economies of scale in providing better service to the regional markets. But these attempts weren't sufficient, and thus a multinational strategy was adopted by the firm. And this is very close to global standardization. The organization depends on 7 self-managed global business units, which mainly focus to have the cost control in creating the brands, having global appeals, and providing a number of benefits. For instance, the annual savings of Procter & Gamble raised up to $800 million. And they had a lot of competition from other companies such as Colgate, Palmolive, Unilever, and Kimberly-Clark. Some drawbacks that were associated with the global standardization strategy were also faced by the company, such as losing the uniqueness in the local market, and that had a negative impact on consumer satisfaction, and it created a lot of problems for the company. Thank you for watching my presentation. Here is my bibliography page and all the sources I used to gather the information that I talked to you about today. Thank you again, and have a great day.